Some of the brightest stars, like Chadwick Boseman, Aaliyah and Jean-Michel Basquiat, left this world far too soon, yet their impact still echoes through generations. Their stories didn't end with their final breath, they became legends. What is it about their lives, their brilliance, and their untimely exits that makes us remember them so vividly? Perhaps it's the way they burned so brightly, so briefly, leaving behind not just memories, but legacies that continue to inspire, challenge, and move us. Chadwick Boseman. Chadwick Boseman, 1976 to 2020. Chadwick Boseman was more than just an actor. He was a once-in-a-generation force whose performances left a lasting imprint on hearts and history. Whether bringing legends like Jackie Robinson to life in 42 or electrifying the screen as James Brown in Get On Up, Chadwick honored every role with dignity and soul. But it was his portrayal of King T'Challa in Black Panther that changed the world. More than a movie, Black Panther became a cultural awakening, a global celebration of Black pride, power, and possibility. Chadwick's quiet strength gave us a hero who stood not only for justice, but for heritage, intelligence, and unity. What makes his legacy even more extraordinary is what the world didn't see. Behind the camera, Chadwick was fighting a private war against colon cancer. Diagnosed in 2016, he chose to keep his battle hidden, pushing through surgeries and chemotherapy while still delivering some of his most soul-stirring performances. Films like Da 5 Bloods and Ma Rainey's Black Bottom weren't just roles, they were acts of courage, created in the shadows of unimaginable pain. Through it all, Chadwick carried himself with unmatched grace, resilience, and purpose. His life reminds us that true strength isn't always loud, but it changes everything. Tupac Shakur. Tupac Shakur, a fallen god, a living legend. Tupac Shakur was more than just a rapper. He was a force of nature, a blazing star in the world of hip-hop whose legacy still echoes through generations. With timeless anthems like Changes, Keep Ya Head Up, and California Love, Tupac didn't just top the charts. He gave a voice to the voiceless and stood as a symbol of resistance and raw truth. At only 25, he had become an icon, fearlessly speaking out against injustice and the harsh realities of life. But on the night of September 13, 1996, amidst the neon lights of Las Vegas, that powerful voice was silenced. Fresh from an electrifying performance, Tupac and his entourage climbed into a BMW, unaware it would be his final ride. As the car glided through the city, vibrant and alive, an unknown vehicle pulled up. In a sudden storm of gunfire, the night was shattered. Bullets rained down, striking Tupac. Even as he fell, his eyes held a fierce defiance. He wasn't ready to go. Despite 6 days of fighting for his life, Tupac succumbed to his wounds. But his death wasn't just the result of gunfire, it was the product of hate, rivalry, and a world steeped in violence and betrayal. Yet Tupac's story didn't end there. His death sparked the rise of an eternal legacy. His music became a weapon for justice, his life a symbol of resilience. Though he's gone, Tupac's voice still roars through speakers, still inspires hearts. He remains a legend, unchallenged, unforgettable, a beacon of strength and hope for every generation to come. Merlin Santana. Merlin Santana, a rising star silenced by a cruel lie. Merlin Santana was a shining talent in Hollywood, a young actor with magnetic charm and unforgettable screen presence, best known for his role on The Steve Harvey Show. At just 26, his star was on the rise, and the future looked bright. But on the night of November 9, 2002, his promising journey was cut short by a senseless act of violence fueled by a devastating lie. It all began with a false accusation from 15-year-old Monique King, who wrongly claimed that Merlin had assaulted her. That malicious lie quickly spiraled out of control, reaching her boyfriend, Brandon Douglas Bynes, and his friend, Damon Andre Gates. Consumed by blind rage and without seeking the truth, they set out for revenge. As Merlin sat in a car with his friend Brandon Adams that night in Los Angeles, he had no idea he was being hunted. Without warning, Damon Gates opened fire on the vehicle. A single bullet struck Merlin in the head, killing him instantly. The reason? Nothing but a fabricated story with no basis in fact. Justice eventually came, but far too late. Gates was sentenced to life in prison, while Bynes received 23 years. Monique King, though given a lighter sentence, left behind a legacy of pain that can never be erased. Merlin Santana's death stands as a haunting reminder of the devastating power of lies and the dire consequences of injustice. He was more than a rising star. He was a symbol of hope, talent, and determination. His light was extinguished far too soon by cruelty and deceit, leaving behind a void that still echoes in the hearts of his loved ones and fans. Lisa Lopez. Lisa Left Eye Lopez, a blazing flame gone too soon. Lisa Left Eye Lopez was the fearless soul of the legendary 90s girl group TLC. With her edgy style, fiery charisma, and unmistakable voice, She helped create timeless anthems like Waterfalls and No Scrubs, leaving an unforgettable mark on the world of music. At just 30 years old, with her career soaring, Lisa stepped away from the limelight in search of inner peace. In April 2002, she traveled to Honduras, a place she often turned to for spiritual healing, hoping to recharge and reconnect after enduring personal struggles and the relentless pressure of fame. In her final days, Lisa was vibrant and inspired, brimming with ideas for new music and personal projects. She seemed reborn, ready for a new chapter. But fate had other plans. On April 25, 2002, while driving a Mitsubishi Montero along a quiet tree-lined road with friends, Lisa lost control of the vehicle. The crash tragically took her life. Always bold, always fearless, Lisa couldn't outrun destiny that day. Her sudden passing shook fans across the globe. She wasn't just the heart of TLC, she was a symbol of resilience, creativity, and living life unapologetically. Though she's gone, Lisa's spirit and music continue to inspire, reminding the world to live loudly, love deeply, and never be afraid to stand out. Bernie Mac. Bernie Mac, 1957 to 2008. Bernie Mac was more than just a comedian, he was a force of nature. With a booming voice, razor-sharp wit, and magnetic presence, he could command any stage and leave audiences doubled over in laughter. Born Bernard Jeffrey McCullough in the heart of Chicago, Bernie's road to fame was paved with hustle and heart. He honed his craft in gritty local clubs, juggling stand-up gigs with odd jobs just to get by. But everything changed when he hit the stage on HBO's Def Comedy Jam. His fearless style, raw honesty, and no-holds-barred humor made him an instant standout. Bernie's brilliance wasn't confined to the mic. He lit up the big screen in hits like Ocean's 11 and Guess Who, but it was the Bernie Mac Show, where he played a fictional version of himself, that truly captured his genius. Running from 2001 to 2006, the show blended laugh-out-loud moments with heartfelt truths, showcasing Bernie's unmatched talent for turning everyday struggles into comedy gold. The series earned critical acclaim and multiple awards, solidifying his place among the comedy greats. What made Bernie truly unforgettable was his ability to make people laugh through pain, to shine a light on life's hardships with a wink and a grin. He wasn't just telling jokes, he was telling our stories. Tragically, on August 9, 2008, Bernie Mac passed away at just 50 years old due to complications from pneumonia. The loss sent shockwaves through the entertainment world. Yet, even in death, Bernie's voice hasn't gone silent. His legacy lives on in every laugh he inspired, every life he touched, and every moment he made a little brighter. Bernie Mac wasn't just a funny man. He was a truth-teller, a trailblazer, and a legend whose spirit will never fade. Aaliyah. Aaliyah, the R&B star who fell from the sky. Aaliyah Houghton was a rising R&B and pop sensation, known for iconic hits like Are You That Somebody and One in a Million. At just 22, she was soaring at the height of her music and acting career. But on August 25, 2001, her bright future was tragically cut short. After wrapping up a music video shoot in the Bahamas, Aaliyah and her team boarded a small plane bound for Miami. Moments after takeoff, the plane crashed. There were no survivors. The aircraft had been dangerously overloaded with luggage and equipment, and the pilot lacked the necessary qualifications to fly. It was a heartbreaking combination of errors that ended a life full of promise. Aaliyah had already made waves in Hollywood with her role in Romeo Must Die and was set to star in the next Matrix installment. Who knows how far her talent could have taken her? Her death was not only a devastating loss to music and film, but to the millions of fans who loved her deeply. Her legacy still lives on, in every beat, every lyric, and every heart she touched. The Notorious B.I.G. The Notorious B.I.G., a rap legend lost to hate. The Notorious B.I.G., born Christopher Wallace, was an irreplaceable icon of East Coast rap. With his groundbreaking 1994 debut album Ready to Die, he didn't just redefine modern hip-hop. He cemented his place as a master storyteller, painting vivid pictures of life on the gritty streets of Brooklyn. At only 24, he had already reached heights most artists only dream of. But on the night of March 9, 1997, his meteoric rise was cut short in a tragic act of violence. Los Angeles shimmered with city lights as Biggie left a vibrant party. Cruising slowly down Wilshire Boulevard in his Chevrolet Suburban, he had no idea that death was closing in. A mysterious vehicle pulled up beside him. Then, the sound of gunfire shattered the night. In seconds, he was gone. His murder left the music world shaken, a chilling symbol of the hate and violence that had come to plague the rap scene. The East Coast-West Coast feud, buried grudges, and relentless rivalries had claimed one of its brightest stars. Biggie had risen from poverty and crime to become a cultural giant, but he couldn't escape the dangers that haunted his world. To this day, the questions surrounding his death remain unanswered. But his legacy lives on. His raw, powerful lyrics still resonate, echoes of truth, pain, and genius that continue to inspire generations. In hip-hop, Biggie's flame refuses to fade. Lloyd Avery II. Lloyd Avery II, a Hollywood star lost behind bars. Lloyd Avery II was a rising star in Hollywood, best known for his chilling performance as a gangster in the 1991 classic Boys and the Hood. With talent, charisma, and momentum on his side, his future looked bright. But behind the spotlight, poor choices slowly pulled him into a world far darker than any film role he ever played. Despite his early success, Lloyd struggled to stay on course. A series of bad decisions spiraled into serious legal troubles, and by 2001, he was implicated in 2 murders. His once promising career came to an abrupt and tragic halt. Sentenced to life in prison, Lloyd found himself at Pelican Bay State Prison, a facility notorious for housing California's most dangerous inmates. There, he was placed in a cell with Kevin Roby, an extremist with a history of violent behavior. On September 4, 2005, in a disturbing act fueled by twisted religious delusions, Roby murdered Lloyd in cold blood. Lloyd Avery's death wasn't just the loss of a promising actor, it was a grim reflection of the violence within the prison system and the devastating cost of a life derailed. He died at just 36, his talent unrealized, his dreams unfinished. His story stands as a haunting reminder: a single wrong turn can unravel even the brightest future.
Trayvon Martin.
Trayvon Martin, a symbol of bloody injustice. Trayvon Martin was a 17-year-old black teenager with a bright future ahead of him, a high school student with a warm smile and eyes full of promise. But on the night of February 26, 2012, his life was tragically cut short, stolen by prejudice and society's deep-rooted fears. That evening, Trayvon was doing something entirely ordinary, walking home after buying a bag of Skittles and an iced tea. Yet his presence alone aroused suspicion. George Zimmerman, a neighborhood watch volunteer, saw Trayvon and instantly labeled him a threat, without reason, without cause, simply because of how he looked. Driven by unfounded fear and bias, Zimmerman followed Trayvon. The confrontation that followed turned deadly. Trayvon, unarmed and with no intention of harm, was confronted and ultimately shot. In a single, irreversible moment, his life was taken, a family shattered, a community shaken. Trayvon's death was more than just a tragic loss. It became a chilling symbol of the systemic injustices faced by Black Americans. He wasn't the first, and tragically, he wouldn't be the last. His story echoed the pain of countless others. Lives devalued, feared, and taken simply because of the color of their skin. Out of this heartbreak, a movement was born. Trayvon's death helped ignite Black Lives Matter, a powerful force demanding accountability, equity, and change. Though Trayvon is no longer with us, his story lives on, as a searing reminder that the fight for justice must continue, and silence is never an option.
Pop Smoke.
Pop Smoke, a rising star gone too soon. Pop Smoke was a fast-rising force in the drill and hip-hop scene. With breakout hits like Dior and Welcome to the Party, he quickly became a symbol of raw ambition and youthful rebellion, capturing the spirit of a new generation. But his meteoric rise came to a heartbreaking end on February 19, 2020, when his life was tragically cut short at just 20 years old. That night, what began as a quiet evening in his Hollywood Hills home turned fatal. After accidentally revealing his address on Instagram, Pop Smoke became the target of a home invasion. The intruders, driven by greed and violence, stormed in. In a matter of moments, a single gunshot silenced one of music's most promising voices. Fame had lifted him to incredible heights, but it also exposed him to devastating risks. His journey was just beginning, and the world never got to witness the full extent of his talent. Yet, even in death, Pop Smoke's presence endures. His music continues to echo with power and purpose, inspiring millions and solidifying his legacy as an icon gone too soon.
XXXTentacion.
XXXTentacion, a musical genius gone too soon. XXXTentacion was a controversial figure, but there's no denying his raw talent and impact. With haunting hits like Sad and Moonlight, he quickly became the voice of a generation wrestling with pain, loneliness, and inner demons. In just a few short years, he built a legacy that felt both powerful and personal, one that still resonates deeply today. On June 18, 2018, at just 20 years old, XXXTentacion's life was cut tragically short. After visiting a motorcycle dealership in Deerfield Beach, Florida, what should have been an ordinary afternoon turned into a devastating moment. As he pulled away, 2 assailants ambushed him. They didn't just steal a Louis Vuitton bag filled with cash, they stole a life full of promise. A single gunshot ended his journey, leaving a void in the hearts of millions. His life was a constant tug-of-war between darkness and redemption. While he faced serious legal troubles, in his final years he was actively seeking change, speaking about mental health, spreading messages of healing, and launching charitable efforts to uplift youth. Sadly, many of these dreams were never realized. XXXTentacion's death wasn't just a loss for music, it was a sobering reminder of the fragility of life and the dangers that often shadow fame. Though he's gone, his voice lives on, in lyrics that echo pain, growth, and hope. For many, his music remains a beacon in the darkest moments. Sam Cooke. The mysterious death of soul legend Sam Cooke. Sam Cooke is hailed as one of the most iconic voices in the history of soul music, known for timeless classics like A Change Is Gonna Come and You Send Me. But Cooke was more than just a groundbreaking artist. He was a powerful force in the civil rights movement, using his voice and influence to challenge injustice and uplift his community. Tragically, his life was cut short under murky circumstances on December 11, 1964, when he was fatally shot at the age of 33 in Los Angeles. The official story claims that Cooke, after checking into the Hacienda Motel with a woman named Elisa Boyer, was shot by the motel manager, Bertha Franklin, in what was ruled self-defense. Boyer had reportedly fled to Franklin's office following an argument with Cooke. Moments later, an allegedly agitated Cooke appeared at the door and was shot dead. But many have questioned the truth behind that night. The details are inconsistent, the investigation was rushed, and the case was closed far too quickly. Some believe this wasn't just a tragic misunderstanding but a targeted act against a man who was becoming too powerful, too vocal, at a time when the establishment wasn't ready to see change. At the peak of his career, Sam Cooke was a wealthy, influential black man pushing against the boundaries of a segregated industry and society. His death has long been shrouded in suspicion, fueling theories that his rising influence made him a threat to the status quo. Though his life ended in mystery, Sam Cooke's legacy lives on. His music continues to inspire, and A Change Is Gonna Come still echoes as both a haunting prophecy and a beacon of hope for generations fighting for justice. Michael Kenneth Williams. Michael Kenneth Williams, the unbelievable life and tragic death of Omar Little. Michael Kenneth Williams was one of the most gifted actors of his generation, forever remembered for his iconic portrayal of Omar Little in The Wire. Bursting onto the entertainment scene in the 90s, he quickly stood out for his ability to breathe depth and complexity into every role he took on. But behind the spotlight and acclaim, Williams was fighting a far more personal battle, a relentless struggle with addiction. Despite repeated efforts to reclaim his life, that battle ended in heartbreak. On September 6, 2021, the world was stunned to learn of his sudden passing from an accidental overdose. The news left a lasting emotional impact on fans and fellow artists alike, serving as a heartbreaking reminder of how fragile even the strongest souls can be. Though his journey ended too soon, Williams's legacy is one of raw talent, resilience, and the silent wars many fight every day. His life story remains both inspiring and sobering, a testament to perseverance and a powerful call to recognize the struggles that often go unseen.
Whitney Houston.
Whitney Houston, a shining legend lost to inner demons. Whitney Houston was nothing short of a once-in-a-generation talent. With her powerful voice and timeless hits like I Will Always Love You and Greatest Love of All, she rose to international stardom, becoming a true icon of music and grace. But behind the dazzling spotlight, Houston fought a heartbreaking battle with personal demons. Her life was marred by substance abuse and a turbulent marriage to Bobby Brown, an emotional storm she struggled to escape. Despite multiple efforts to reclaim control, she remained caught in a cycle of addiction and pain. On the eve of the 2012 Grammy Awards, tragedy struck. At just 48 years old, Whitney was found lifeless in a bathtub at the Beverly Hills Hotel. While her death was officially ruled an accidental drowning, the deeper truths, years of addiction and emotional wounds, tell a far more tragic story. Her passing is a haunting reminder that even the brightest stars can be consumed by darkness. Stephanie Mosley. Stephanie Mosley, a shining star lost to tragedy. Stephanie Mosley was a gifted dancer and actress, best known for her captivating role in the hit series Hit the Floor and her reputation as one of the top performers in the entertainment industry. With her radiant talent and rising career, she seemed destined for greatness. But on December 8, 2014, the world was stunned by the heartbreaking news of her untimely death at just 30 years old, a loss that felt both sudden and senseless. Stephanie's life was cut short not by accident, but by a tragic episode fueled by jealousy and emotional turmoil. Behind the scenes, her marriage to rapper Earl Hayes had been quietly crumbling. Few knew of the tensions building between them until that fateful night when a heated argument spiraled out of control. In a horrifying act of violence, Earl Hayes took Stephanie's life before turning the gun on himself. The news sent shockwaves through the entertainment world. Stephanie's death wasn't just a personal tragedy for her loved ones, It was a painful blow to an industry that had only just begun to witness her full potential. With so much ahead of her, dreams unfulfilled, roles unplayed, her life was tragically cut short in an instant of rage. Stephanie Mosley's passing serves as a stark reminder of the unseen struggles that can exist behind fame and glamour. Beneath the spotlight, even the brightest stars can carry heavy burdens. Her legacy lives on, not only in her work but also in the important conversations her story continues to inspire.
Prince.
Prince, a musical legend lost to painkiller addiction. Prince was more than a global superstar. He was a revolutionary artist who reshaped music with timeless hits like Purple Rain and When Doves Cry. His genius knew no bounds, and his boldness broke barriers, making him a cultural icon for generations. But behind the electrifying performances and chart-topping records, Prince silently battled chronic pain caused by years of physically demanding shows. In a tragic twist, the very painkillers meant to help him cope became the cause of his untimely death on April 21, 2016. The world was stunned by the news of his accidental overdose. Dreams left unfinished, songs left unsung, Prince's story ended too soon. Haunted by pain, he fell into the grip of addiction, leaving behind a legacy that was as brilliant as it was heartbreakingly human.
Heavy D.
Heavy D, the rap legend with a wounded heart. Heavy D was a true icon of 90s hip-hop, lighting up the music scene with his group, Heavy D and the Boys, and unforgettable hits like Now That We Found Love. More than just a gifted artist, he embodied joy, positivity, and a vibrant spirit that resonated with fans around the world. But behind the spotlight, he carried a quiet burden, a body growing tired and a heart growing weak. The world wouldn't know the depth of his struggle until his sudden passing in 2011, at just 44 years old, due to heart disease. His fading health quietly stole a future that still held so much promise, leaving behind a legacy that felt gone too soon. Heavy D wasn't just a performer. He was a brother, a role model, and a beacon of love whose heart gave out long before his light ever did.
Natina Reed.
Natina Reed, a rising star lost too soon. Natina Reed was a bright light in the worlds of R&B and hip-hop. As a member of Black, she rose to fame with chart-topping hits like Bring It All to Me, and she even displayed her acting chops in the cult classic film Bring It On. With talent, charisma, and ambition, she seemed destined for greatness. But on the night of October 26, 2012, tragedy struck. At just 33 years old, Natina was fatally hit by a car while crossing the street, her life cut short in an instant. At the time, she was working on new music, driven by a renewed passion for her craft. Her sudden passing sent shockwaves through her fans and the music community, who were left mourning not only her loss, but the incredible future that would never be realized. Natina's death was more than just a tragic accident, it was the untimely end of a life bursting with promise. While her voice still lives on through the music she left behind, her unrealized dreams serve as a powerful and heartbreaking reminder of life's fragile nature.
Lamont Bentley.
Lamont Bentley, a brilliant talent gone too soon. Artemis Lamont Bentley was a rising star whose unforgettable performance on the 1990s hit show Moesha left a lasting impression. With undeniable talent and a future full of promise, Bentley was poised for greatness. Tragically, his life was cut short in a devastating car accident on January 18, 2005, at the young age of 31. In an instant, the world lost not just an actor, but a passionate artist brimming with ambition and untapped potential. His sudden passing is a heartbreaking reminder of how fragile life can be, and how quickly dreams can be stolen by fate.
Florence Griffith Joyner.
Florence Griffith Joyner, a legend lost too soon. Florence Griffith Joyner, lovingly known as Flo Jo, was more than just the fastest woman in history, she was a force of nature. Bursting onto the world stage at the 1988 Seoul Olympics, she shattered records and captured hearts with her breathtaking speed, bold fashion, and unmatched charisma. Her legacy as the greatest female sprinter of all time was sealed in those unforgettable moments. But on September 21, 1998, the sports world was stunned by tragedy. Flo Jo passed away suddenly from an epileptic seizure, a quiet battle she had faced for years away from the public eye. Her death was a heartbreaking loss, not just of a legendary athlete, but of a vibrant soul with so much more to give. The void she left in track and field remains impossible to fill. Charmaine Maxwell. Charmaine Maxwell, the R&B star silenced by tragedy. Charmaine Maxwell, one of the powerhouse voices behind the acclaimed R&B group Brownstone, left an unforgettable mark on the music world with timeless hits like If You Love Me and Grapevine. Her soulful voice and magnetic presence helped define a generation of R&B. But on March 27, 2015, at just 46 years old, Charmaine's life was tragically cut short in a car accident. Her sudden passing sent shockwaves through the music industry, robbing the world of a talent still in her prime. She left behind not only a legacy of unforgettable music but also a haunting sense of what could have been. The dreams unfulfilled, the songs left unsung, and the stages never graced again. Her absence is deeply felt, an irreplaceable loss in the hearts of fans and fellow artists alike.
Michelle Thomas.
Michelle Thomas, the heartbreaking loss of comedy's sweetheart. Michelle Thomas, a vibrant and gifted actress, stole hearts with her unforgettable roles in The Cosby Show and Family Matters. Her radiant smile and magnetic presence lit up every scene, quickly making her a beloved fan favorite. But in 1997, just as her career was soaring, Michelle received a devastating diagnosis: terminal stomach cancer. Despite fighting with unwavering strength and grace, she passed away on December 23, 1998, at just 30 years old. Her tragic, untimely death left behind unfulfilled dreams and a deep void in the hearts of all who loved her.
Minnie Riperton.
Minnie Riperton, a voice the world lost too soon. Minnie Riperton, the queen of music with a breathtaking 5.5-octave vocal range, enchanted the world with her voice. Songs like Lovin' You stand as timeless testaments to her extraordinary talent. Tragically, on July 12, 1979, at just 31 years old, breast cancer claimed her life. Even as the disease took its toll, Minnie continued to sing, to fight, and to pour her soul into every note. Her passing sent shockwaves through the music world, leaving behind a silence that could never be filled and a legacy that still resonates in the hearts of her fans today.
Otis Redding.
Otis Redding, a shooting star lost at his peak. Otis Redding, a rising soul icon, transformed the genre with his raw emotion and unforgettable hits like Sittin' on the Dock of the Bay. Known for his electrifying stage presence and deeply soulful voice, he captivated audiences and inspired millions. Just as his star was reaching its brightest, tragedy struck. On the morning of December 10, 1967, Otis and members of his band, the Bar-Kays, were involved in a devastating plane crash over a frozen lake. The accident claimed his life and the lives of his closest collaborators, abruptly ending a career that was just beginning to soar. His untimely death left countless dreams unrealized and cast a long shadow over the music world, which still mourns the loss of a true legend.
Robin Harris.
Robin Harris, a comedy legend gone too soon. Robin Harris was a comedic force, sharp, original, and unforgettable. With a style all his own, he had a rare gift for making people laugh while also making them think. Best known for his iconic role in House Party, Robin was on the rise, lighting up stages and screens with his talent. But just as his star was reaching its peak, tragedy struck. On March 18, 1990, at only 36 years old, Robin Harris passed away suddenly from heart disease, a silent threat he never even knew he had. His death wasn't just a loss for comedy, it was a sobering reminder of the hidden toll the spotlight can take. The world lost not only a brilliant entertainer, but also the joy and laughter he had yet to share.
Tara Korea McMullen.
Tara Korea McMullen, a rising star gone too soon. At just 16 years old, Tara Korea McMullen was a bright light in Hollywood, best known for her role on Judging Amy. Her career was just beginning to soar, and the future looked incredibly promising. But on the night of October 21, 2005, tragedy struck. While spending time with friends, Tara was senselessly gunned down in a random act of violence. Her sudden and heartbreaking death sent shockwaves through the entertainment world. A young, gifted actress, full of potential and dreams, was taken far too soon, leaving behind a legacy of what could have been.
Chance Perdomo.
Chance Perdomo, a bright light gone too soon. Chance Perdomo, best known for his captivating role as Ambrose Spellman in Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, had his promising life tragically cut short. A rising star with immense talent and charisma, Chance was on the brink of greatness. But behind the spotlight and fame, he quietly battled emotional struggles few ever saw. Carrying the heavy weight of expectations, he found freedom and peace in the open road. Motorcycles became his escape. Tragically, that very passion led to his untimely death. On March 26, 2020, Chance Perdomo lost his life in a motorcycle accident. The news sent shockwaves through the world. We didn't just lose an actor, we lost a beautiful soul, a brilliant future, and a light that had only just begun to shine.
Cameron Boyce.
Cameron Boyce, the beloved Disney star, tragically lost his life to a seizure at just 20 years old. Best known for his roles as Luke Ross on Jessie and in the Descendants franchise, Cameron had battled epilepsy for much of his life. Despite the challenges, he never let the condition define him or slow him down. At the peak of a bright and promising career, he passed away unexpectedly on July 6, 2019, leaving fans and loved ones heartbroken. His sudden death shocked the world, not just because of the talent it lost, but because of the kind, radiant spirit he was. Cameron brought light, laughter, and inspiration to countless people, and his legacy continues to live on in their hearts.
Eazy-E.
Eazy-E, the legendary godfather of gangster rap, lost his life to an unforgiving illness that shook the music world to its core. As the founder of NWA, he was a revolutionary force who reshaped the sound and story of hip-hop. On March 26, 1995, at just 31 years old, Eazy-E tragically passed away after a relentless battle with AIDS. His death sent shockwaves through the industry. He was at the height of his career, dominating the charts and pushing rap music to new, uncharted heights. More than just a heartbreaking loss to music, his passing was a stark reminder of a rare talent gone too soon, one who never had the chance to fully bask in the legacy he was building.
Naya Rivera.
Naya Rivera, the Glee star and a mother's ultimate sacrifice. Naya Rivera, the beloved star of Glee, was more than just a musical icon. She was a devoted mother and a true hero. On July 8, 2020, at just 33 years old, Naya took her 4-year-old son Josie for a peaceful day on Lake Piru in California. What was meant to be a joyful outing turned into a heartbreaking tragedy. When their boat began to drift, Naya summoned every ounce of strength to lift her son to safety. She saved his life, but the unforgiving waters claimed hers. That selfless act of love, a mother giving everything for her child, touched hearts around the world. Her bravery and unconditional love will never be forgotten. They live on in her son, in her work, and in the hearts of millions who admired her. 30 stars gone too soon. You've just met some of the brightest stars, trailblazers, icons, and legends whose lives were cut short far too soon. From powerful performers to cultural changemakers, each left an unforgettable mark. Their losses are not just stories, they are wounds that still ache. We invite you to honor their memory. Leave a comment below to share your thoughts and reflections on what they left behind. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel to celebrate the lives, the legacies, and the untold stories of Hollywood's brightest stars.